Today on Rock the Park.
It's definitely too windy for this.
A hidden gem in the deserts of Nevada.
From here, you can see the entirety of what makes this park so amazing.
Full of mysteries.
It was a form of communication.
And deep, dark secrets.
That's massive. And that comes out of absolutely nowhere.
The perfect setting for a journey like none we've ever done before.
This is overland. Oh, careful here. This is really big.
Get up!
Ooh. This is Gold Butte National Monument.
That, to me, looks just like a lion.
And it all starts right now.
I'm Jack Stewart.
This is the real deal.
And I'm Colton Smith.
These are mountains!
We've been buddies for years. Always in search of the next adventure.
Dude, what was that?
We share a passion for our national parks and other wild places around the world.
Oh my God.
Heading off the beaten path. Pushing our limits and experiencing nature's best kept secrets.
Here we go!
It's how we rock the park. Nevada's immense beauty is one of America's best-kept secrets. Few people venture through its more than 100,000 square miles of deserts, plateaus, canyons, and mountains, all formed by eons of wind, water, and shifting tectonic plates. Our destination, Gold Butte National Monument in southeastern Nevada.
Gold Butte was named for an abandoned mining town found within its borders.
This town was plunk in the middle of nowhere.
Like many states out west, there used to be gold in this remote, rugged area of Nevada. But that's not why we're here.
We are headed out on the road for a pretty cool new adventure.
Yeah, we are going overlanding. And basically what overlanding is it's exploration using our vehicle for everything. And man, we picked the perfect place to try it out for the first time.
Totally. Overlanding has become more and more popular. Basically, people just want to see how far they can take their cars into the wilderness, staying on maintained routes, of course. But the way I'm thinking about overlanding is it's almost like this is our modern day horse, you know? It's the mode of transportation. We're packing everything that we need to survive into it.
That includes plenty of extra gas and a bottle of coolant in case the car overheats, a portable air compressor and sealant for the tires, a tow rope, emergency lights, and road flares.
Plus, we need to think beyond car trouble. We're in the desert, and this is your lifeline. You don't go anywhere out here without a ton of water, so we're playing it safe with that. Here in Gold Butte, car camping does not require a permit. But they do expect everyone to practice the rules of leave no trace and pack out everything they take in.
And last but not least, we have our good old-fashioned tent that connects to the back of this car. This is gonna be your luxury suite for the night.
I call this tent the Palace because it's huge. All right, are we good?
I think we're set. First stop, we're gonna make our way towards the Falling Man Trailhead, which is where we're gonna see some rock art and petroglyphs.
Fantastic.
It's gonna be
All
great.
right.
We'll be driving a 90-mile partial loop route on mostly unpaved roads. With few signs and very little cell service, GPS and a satellite phone are a must.
Usually, our road trips are designed to get us to a destination, but with overlanding, the journey is the purpose.
It's all about getting out here and working your way through obstacles and challenges, because it's when you're tested and you really get to learn something about yourself and the world around you.
It really allows you to just venture further. Venture deep into the backcountry, into places that your 2 feet might have a hard time reaching.
Gold Butte is one of the country's newest national monuments, thanks to a designation in 2016 by President Barack Obama.
Okay, so I think this is our turnoff right here.
Okay.
20 miles into the trip, and we hit an area called Whitney Pocket Junction, where a quick detour from the main road leads us to a famous rock art site called Falling Man, named for a large petroglyph that appears to show a person falling in midair. It is considered sacred to local tribes who would prefer we not film it but use existing photos. It's okay to film the other petroglyphs when we find them.
Look at this Joshua tree. It's incredible. What's fascinating about the Joshua trees is they're not trees at all. This is just a yucca plant.
Joshua trees are able to thrive in the desert because their root systems are shallow and wide, so they can easily suck up rainwater. They even produce flowers in early spring.
We're on a mission to find something even older. Mysterious artwork etched into the towering rocks somewhere right around here.
So we're at a bit of a junction right here, trying to see exactly where I would imagine that looks like a pretty nice place for some petroglyphs tucked up in there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, something tells me this is a find your own adventure type of a deal.
These carvings bring the history of this place to life. And there are other surprises that take your breath away.
They don't know if the ground next to it is just gonna start crumbling away next.
We're in Gold Butte National Monument in Nevada on an overlanding adventure where our focus is on the journey, not the destination. Our first stop is an area known for ancient petroglyphs, images carved into the surface of the rock.
Oh yeah, there they are. Got a big clump of them right up there.
Okay, let's get up there and get a closer look.
Oh man, that's cool.
Oh yeah, right here we've got 3 really distinct petroglyphs. To me, what they look like are desert bighorn sheep.
These petroglyphs are believed to be anywhere from 700 to 7,000 years old. Archaeologists don't know who carved these pictures, but ancestors of the Moapa band of Paiutes traveled this area and are known to have relied on bighorn sheep for food, clothing, and tools. Sheep are uniquely suited to sparse and rocky places because they can climb steep terrain to escape predators and survive eating small desert plants.
Down here too, we've got some that are a little more vague, like that squiggle kind of going across right there. That very well could be an indication of water.
It's pretty incredible. It's very likely that the people living here knew where water was. And sometimes there were springs that were really obvious. You know, you'd see palm trees, you'd see other things that indicated an oasis. Or other times, they weren't as obvious.
It was a form of communication, especially like the southern Paiute tribes would tell each other. It might not seem like there's water, but if you dig right here, you'll find some.
Now, while it's impossible for us to know exactly what these pictures mean, a lot of people believe that this is signifying corn. And that is one of the rare ones that you're gonna find out here. So there's a chance that the people who left this were trying to tell other people coming through that there is fertile land here where you could grow some food.
So over here, I've been scanning to see if I can get my eyes on any more petroglyphs. I haven't found any, but what I have found is a lot of evidence of animal activity here. Up here, it looks like a bird spent a significant amount of time just in this little crevice.
In this area, golden eagles have been spotted soaring overhead, and groups of gambrel quail scurry around the brush. The quails thrive here because their body temperature is 107 degrees, so they can easily handle the desert heat.
And then down on the ground, there's a bunch of different scat. Some big scat over here, which definitely, to me, looks like it came from a coyote.
Although the coyote is usually a carnivore, the coyotes that live here in the Mojave Desert also eat plants.
And then over here, I'm not exactly sure, but one of the animals that's really unique to the desert and just a fascinating animal in general is the desert tortoise. Right here, we've got a mound that looks like it's a perfect circle, as a tortoise shell would be.
The desert tortoise is a threatened animal, and they're so elusive because they spend 95% of their lives underground, hiding from predators and the beating sun.
And what the tortoise will do is, as they're burrowing, they'll just plant themselves in there and start just gathering dirt, sand, whatever they can find around them to put on top of them, get cool, and then try to get as deep underground as possible.
Also, the less they move, the less food and water they need, so I'm trying not to disturb it in any way.
Because anytime they feel threatened, they urinate a little bit. That's a defense mechanism for them. It's what they do when they sense danger. But for these guys, like all the other animals you find in this environment, water is few and far between. There's just not a lot of it out here. So the last thing you want to do is scare a desert tortoise and have them use some of that water that they have in their system, because without it, that actually puts their lives in jeopardy.
One of the things that I really love to do is unplug when I'm out in nature. That means put the cell phone away. I mean, you're probably not gonna get service anyways, but it's tempting to just be on your phone. Sometimes I even leave the camera in the car. It's really just about being present in the moment to the surroundings and the park that you're in and have the full experience.
That allows you to be a lot more observant of your surroundings.
So you can see this formation behind me has been called the bunny ears, and you can totally see why. Those two rocks jetting up look like little bunny ears, or my personal favorite, peace sign.
Before we take off, we need to do a quick tortoise check.
They're trying to find shade, so anytime you're in the desert tortoise environment, you want to be checking underneath your car.
Our next stop is another 10 miles down the road, and like so many places in our public lands, Gold Butte is filled with sights that blow you away, or in this case, can swallow you whole.
Oh man, yeah, that is a sinkhole. Wow. Wow.
It's called Devil's Throat, and it's a sinkhole more than 75 feet across and 120 feet deep. It's fenced to keep visitors from accidentally driving or falling into it.
That's massive, and that comes out of absolutely nowhere.
What's crazy about this thing is they believe that there were some underground caverns that just collapsed, and this sinkhole then formed because of that collapse.
Yeah, caverns that were full of water. The water dried out, and the moment that happened, everything became unstable and just...
Devil's Throat sinkhole is believed to have formed just in the last 25 years or so. Makes you wonder what else might happen out here.
And with that thought, our next stop is the middle of nowhere, where we find signs of an abandoned town.
Whoa, wow.
Oh yeah, it's deep.
Oh.
We're deep in the Nevada backcountry, overlanding through the vast Gold Butte National Monument, which got its name from a gold mining boomtown in the early 1900s.
So here we are at the Gold Butte town site, which honestly at this point is just a bunch of remnants of the mining that took place here.
They finally found gold here in 1906, and by 1909, that was that. They had found all the gold, the town went bust.
But not everybody abandoned ship.
Yeah, these two dudes, Art Coleman and Bill Garrett, had a cottage somewhere in the town site here, and they stayed until they passed away. And their tombstones are still here. It's always a good idea to be careful when you're wandering through ghost towns. There's a lot of sharp edges and rusty metal.
And you never know what could be hiding under these objects. There are more than 20 species of scorpions that live in the desert. While their sting is not usually deadly to humans, it can be painful. The same goes for the 4 kinds of venomous spiders in the area, including the tarantula and black widow.
It's important too that when you come to old ghost towns or historic sites to leave everything that you find. This is now a part of the landscape.
There wasn't much to this town even in its heyday. Historians say it had private homes, a hotel, livery stable, general store, and a post office.
Oh, check this out. Oh man, we found a mine shaft here. Look at this. This drops down further than I can even see. And it's a good thing they have this grate on here because yeah, like you could totally fall into this. Oh man.
Whoa, wow.
Oh yeah, it's deep.
Oh.
These mines are relics of the gold rush days, and so are the tombstones of Gold Butte's last 2 residents.
Oh man, this has got to be it.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Arthur S. Coleman, 1876 to 1958.
William H. Garrett, 1880 to 1961.
That's amazing. The last 2 residents of Gold Butte.
The 2 men met just as the town was being abandoned, and they stayed on, running cattle and scouring the hillsides for gold.
It's a harsh environment, but man, they stuck it out, and they stuck it out a long time.
Yeah.
With daylight fading fast, we need to find a campsite.
All right, this has got to be a camp.
And the wind is picking up, so we need to find a sheltered spot.
Here, I'll guide. Swim. That's a big rocks. Hold on. You just have a big knob here. Do you want to just back it out? All right. Straighten out your wheel. Now go for it. Oh, whoa.
Colton does manage to free the car without having to use the tow rope, and we hunt for a different place.
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually.
All right, let's go with it.
All right, so we made it to camp. It's really, really windy.
Very windy, yeah.
On trips like this, I always sleep in my car. It's my mobile apartment. Colton, on the other hand, prefers a tent.
Whoa!
Unfortunately, the wind is making the setup difficult.
All right, so hold this up. Dude, it's definitely too windy for this. Like,
Yeah, I've got my backpacking tent. That's, again, you bring backups. Started the night with a nice dream of having a big palace all to myself, and just like that, I've been downgraded to a one-person suite. But shelter I will have. You might be asking, why even put up a tent? Well, this is rattlesnake country, and I've heard far too many horror stories of rattlesnakes trying to find some worth in the middle of the night and finding that in your sleeping bag. No thank you.
But before either of us turns in for the night, we kick back and look to the skies. This far away from city lights, we're able to see this incredible blanket of stars. Like so much of nature, you need to get off the beaten path to really see its wonders. And there are more to come tomorrow.
We have one more day of overlanding, a 90-mile route through Gold Butte National Monument in Nevada.
we are headed towards the Hobgoblins playground.
Yeah, and so far the road is definitely getting a little bit rougher. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely getting a little rocky here. Yeah. This is really big. This is really, really big.
Get up! Yeah!
We're almost 40 miles away from a major highway, and these dirt roads are rocky and rough, but they lead to Hobgoblins Playground, named for the shapes created by more than 100 million years of wind eroding the Aztec sandstone.
Well, apparently the fun of Hobgoblins Playground is you can kind of make up the features in your head, so we'll see if we come up with our own too.
The red comes from iron minerals within the rocks that oxidize as they're exposed to air, turning them the color of rust.
This fin right over here, it almost looks to me like a stegosaurus. It's got just like that perfect arc and almost a head down on the left side. This feature right in front of us looks to me like a lion. If you look, he's kind of sitting down, he's got his front paw facing out, and then his head is just really defined right there. You've got the ear at the top, the eye, the nose, and the back of the head kind of creates that mane. That's the coolest one I've seen yet. Dang. Oh, man, what a place.
Yeah.
What a hidden gem. This was the perfect place to try overlanding. Going off the beaten path with our vehicle and really having to rely on our own preparation to get us through this park was really, really cool.
Man, we saw petroglyphs that date back thousands and thousands of years.
We got to walk through red rocks, through the open desert. We got to explore a ghost town.
It's why you protect these places.
We got to drive some epic roads. All of that is right here in Gold Butte National Monument. And it's just waiting for you to come out and discover it.
I've driven by this place so many times, not even knowing what just was right beyond those mountains in front of you. Now that I know, I'm never gonna forget it, and I'm gonna keep coming back. That's a great feeling.
It's just amazing what you can experience if you venture away from the crowds and take the road less traveled. And remember,
Hey, if we can do it,
So can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.